Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, the Head, welcome back to Baseball Head. Hope you like this video. So I'm recording this video starting. Shohei Ohtani just hit a 3-run home run. I know the Mets are losing 4-0, but I've said prior to the series, you cannot put runners on in front of him. And that's what's happened here, and they put the game out of reach. The Mets are questioning whether it was a home run. Now that they challenged it and confirmed home run, but you cannot let him beat you. You can't put men on base. The Mets offense has disappeared in this game. Wasn't there tonight so far. They had men on base in the first 2 innings against Walker Buehler, who really didn't have much in the beginning of this game. Also feel that the strike zone for both teams was lousy early in this game. Marvin Hudson, the umpire behind the plate, did a terrible job. Absolutely terrible job. But, again, it's now 7-0 now. The Mets left so many men on base in this game early on. I would make a note, and I posted this on X, that in the 6th inning when the Mets were down 4-0, that with Starlin Marte and JD Martinez was up. I know that the pitcher, Brazier for the Dodgers had already done the 3 pitchers limit, but I felt that Mendy should have went to Winker there. I know they would have brought in Bandit, but it's Anthony Bandit. We saw him. That's a guy you can beat. And I know that Winker doesn't go up against lefties, but I would have taken my shot there in the 6th inning. Couple of things about this lineup. Overall, Francisco Alvarez should not play tomorrow. He had non-competitive at-bats, and that strikeout in the 2nd inning for the second out was a disaster. He did not have good at-bats in this game at all, to be honest with you. And he's, in this series, 1 for 9. 1 for 9, and he really has not hit much in the postseason. I know Luis Torrens is not the greatest hitter, but I'd like to sort of change it up a little bit. If he's not going to hit, I'll improve my defense a little bit. That's what I would do. Also, the double play to, again, and of course, Jose Iglesias grounds out into the double play to end the 6th inning. That was huge. That killed the Mets right there and then. That was the final nail in the coffin in this game. To be honest with you, because that was their shot. They could have, if you bring in Winker, maybe it's a home run. And even if you bring in the lefty, you still take a shot with the Taylor. And you do that. Now, a couple of things about this team tonight with the Mets offense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 at-bats into the 7th inning. The Mets had 3-2 counts and did not convert. They had one in the 1st inning. Those struck out. You had one to Pete Alonso in the 1st inning. He struck out. Martinez had 3-2 count. He had 3-2. This is the key sequence in the game. Martinez gets on. Marte gets out in the 2nd inning. Martinez walks. Iglesias gets a hit. Taylor walks. Alvarez strikes out, and again, non-competitive at-bats. And then you have Lindor, who struck out. I'm not going to kill Lindor because, we wouldn't be here. But he struck out on a 3-2 pitch. I would mention also, he made a great play in the 5th inning on Mookie Betts. Hot shot to his right. Again, it's a disgrace that he wasn't nominated for the Gold Glove. A disgrace. And the fact that he did not get one really bugs the hell out of me. Just a nomination. These other guys, maybe in the future they're going to be good fielders. But if Anthony Volpe, who is a terrible shortstop, is nominated, when you have a guy like Juan Soto, who's a terrible outfielder, who might be a future Met, he is a terrible outfielder. He got nominated. So this tells you how this system is terrible. Also tells you, with the players, it's all about buddies and stuff like that, I guess. But anyway, and then, of course, in the 2nd inning would have been a bigger disaster which was the big inning, the first 2 runs against Severino, who came out in the first inning, 12 strikes, 12 balls in the first inning. He got Ohtani to swing at the first pitch of the game, ground out to Pete. He had a very efficient first inning. But like I said, I felt that the strike zone was not great early in this game. It was all over the place. And then Severino pitched 29 pitches, 24 pitches, 14 pitches in the second, third, and fourth innings in this game. But that second inning killed them because they weren't hitting the Dodgers didn't hit the ball hard. They did not play good defense. Why Alvarez threw the second base made no sense with that play that he made, and that opened up the floodgates really. I'm losing my voice, but that play was just a mess. And then Severino had that ball get off his glove, but that bothered me more than the home run to Kiki Hernandez that Reed Garrett gave up. But a guy like Reed Garrett is made to order for a guy that hits home runs in the postseason, like Hernandez. And I would mention this: Hernandez is batting in front of Ohtani. He's going to get a good pitch to hit. I would also say this about the broadcast, where they were talking about trying to make the Dodgers out to be some underdog, and the Dodgers being delusional, saying that they've had a tough season. You won 98 games, assholes. You won 98 games. And for their broadcast, and the guy that's doing the broadcast for this game is the Dodgers broadcast. He's the one that took over Vince Scully. So just to sort of mention how they were the underdogs. They had injuries. Mets had injuries too. Every team had injuries. But the idea that the Dodgers are deluding themselves, thinking that they're a underdog, and even Smoltz thought that was a joke. One of the most boring broadcasts of all time, he thought it was a joke. When Joe, what's his face, was saying that. But that was a little thing that bugged me in the last few minutes. But to me, I don't complain much about what Mendoza does. He does a great job. But I would have taken my shot in that sixth inning with Winker. And like I said, I even wrote it down, folks. I'll show you where I just wrote it right here. Wrote it right here on my book. Wrote it right here. Use Winker in that spot, in the sixth inning. And I wrote beforehand, not after. It wasn't a second guess, it was a first guess. And I turned out to be right. I should be the bench coach for the Mets. I should be the bench coach for the Mets at this point. Could be the Carlos Mendoza whisperer. Use Winker. Don't use Iglesias. I've not been very happy with the Iglesias at bats over the last week or so, to be honest with you. I would consider playing Jeff tomorrow. And I thought they should have played him today. To be honest, I know he hasn't played much, but I would have played him tonight. Now we'll see if they play him tomorrow. I would play him tomorrow. I'd put Torrens in the game tomorrow. If you're not going to get any kind of production at the bottom of the lineup with Francisco Alvarez, then let me improve my defense behind the plate. And that play that was really that play that he threw the second, and when he should have done the first, set up the second inning, set up the first run in the second inning. To be honest with you, you can't walk batters like the Mets did in this game. You can't make mistakes against the Dodgers. Okay, and that's been the problem in these first 3 games. On the second game, the Mets walked 8 batters. How they win the game? It's because they just outscored the Dodgers. But in these games, that you're not scoring a lot, you cannot make mistakes. You cannot give up walks, and they've done that too much. What did they say? 19 walks. 19 walks in the 19 walks in the first 3 games. You can't win. You're not going to win. I mean, we don't go crazy about the OMG and stuff and Grimace. And Grimace isn't throwing the pitch, by the way. Get Brandon Nimmo, the ball into the seats. Foul. We got 1 out here in the 8th inning. I'm not going to be doing too long of a video here because you're going to know what the outcome is. Because once this game is over. Bullpen comparison. Dodgers, 3 to 3rd innings, 1 walk, 1 hit, 5 strikeouts. Mets bullpen. I don't have the walk total here, but they gave up 5 runs. Can't win that way. And he brought in Tyler McGill. I don't know why he didn't. And this is a second guess. I don't know why he didn't bring in Young to pitch to Ohtani. I've said this before. I'm not a big fan of Tyler McGill as a reliever. To be honest with you folks, there's a walk to Brandon Nimmo. I'm not a big fan of that. Just not a big fan of it at all. And his second at bat, Pete Alonso hit a long ball that he got under. He just got off the end of the bat. I think everybody in the ballpark thought it was going to go out, and it didn't go out. Pete's at bats in this series have been sort of not that great. I mean, the bats in this game was not great. And Walker Buehler he didn't have much in the first 2 innings, and the Mets just didn't do anything with it. Just didn't do much in this game, I gotta say, in the first 2 innings. They had him on the ropes, and they didn't knock him out. You know. And he pitched 4 innings, and online they made such a big deal. Oh, he pitched 4 innings. You know, it's terrible. Mets he just got away with all these pitches. You know. Now I would mention, of course, the Mets have taken a lot of punches. I think we all know that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they came back tomorrow. That's going to have Jose Quintana going up against, I don't know who the hell they're sending against them. That's, forgot. It doesn't matter. If you know who's pitching tomorrow, just leave it in the comment section. But, you know, like I said, Walker Buehler didn't have much. He really didn't. And especially the first 2 innings. But the Mets played a very strange game. They had 2 great plays in this game with Taylor and with Lindor. And then they just played very sloppy. You know, a lot of walks. You know, they need to start hitting for power in the series, and they're not going to win the series. We saw in the second game they hit two home runs, and they won the game. They've not scored a run since the second inning? The second inning of the 8th inning, the 8th inning in the second game. And they've scored 7 runs in this 3-game series so far. Pete, long fly ball to right field, caught for the track. So 7 runs is not going to cut in a 3-game series. And if I'm doing this video, that means the game's over and the Mets lost. You know, there's no other way to sort of put it out there. Now, of course, Mets should look about making some changes to the lineup, like I said. Bring in, I would play Winker tomorrow. If it's not a lefty, you put Winker in there. Martinez has to he has to have a big hit in the series. The Mets are going to have a big series to, come back in the series. They're going to have to do some things. They're going to start hitting for more power, And Torrens has to play tomorrow. If you're not going to get any production out of Alvarez, you play Torrens to improve the defense behind the plate, to be honest with you. And I would seriously think about sitting on Iglesias. And if you don't feel comfortable, about playing Jeff tomorrow, maybe play Acuna. He's here. Might as well play him. Because I'm not happy with the at-bats that Iglesias has been taking, to be honest with you folks. I'm being totally honest with you. And now we're going to the top of the 9th thing. But these are the kind of things I would do for tomorrow. I would seriously think about sitting. Like I said, Iglesias at bats, even though he's 3 for 10 so far in the series, you're relying too much on him, and that's making me very nervous. I know he's played really well, but this postseason the pitching gets better, and I feel like you need a better hitter in those spots. And Jeff's a better hitter, and I would like to have Acuna in there. If you're going to have him on this roster, I would like to have him playing in the field and not just coming in pinch run or just having him be a potted plant on the bench. And Alvarez is a big problem with these at-bats. They're not good at-bats. Well, let me know what you think about this video. And, of course, we'll get them tomorrow. And please, of course, subscribe to Baseball Hut. Done a lot of videos the last couple of days. Check them out. But more importantly, I'll be back again talking about the game tomorrow. And we'll discuss it, in the video. So, Thank you for watching. Have a good day, as much as you can, or have a good night. Let's go Mets, and I'll see you later.